Okay, so it is early, if you can't tell by the sound of my voice, and I just woke up to the news we're getting a brand new Disney resort. Not in Europe, not in America, but this time in the Middle East, in Abu Dhabi. Yeah, sorry, no build up, no big intro to this video. I just wanted to talk about it because this is very, very interesting to me. Now, Disneyland Abu Dhabi is not the official name, okay? I'm just going to call it Disneyland Abu Dhabi because we have Shanghai Disneyland and we have Disneyland Paris and we have Tokyo Disneyland. So Disneyland Abu Dhabi or Abu Dhabi Disneyland will probably most likely be the official name, right? Maybe. Now, similar to a lot of the overseas parks in Asia, Disney will not be building this park out of their own pocket. They're actually partnering with the company Miral, who are behind a lot of the other sort of theme park destinations that are currently in Abu Dhabi. Now, we don't know a lot about this park, this resort quite yet, but we do have a few pieces of concept art. And yeah, these aren't giving me much. We're getting a carousel of progress, though. That's what I'm calling that right now. That's the carousel of progress. Imagine. So based on the abstractness of this concept art, we are at least a decade out, right? We got to be at least a decade out from this park, maybe even beginning construction, opening. I keep saying park. It's the 7th Disney resort in the world. I'm going to assume right now that it's opening with one park, the Abu Dhabi Disneyland Park, and then some resort hotels, maybe a shopping district similar to Downtown Disney or Disney Springs, but at least one hotel and at least one park to start. Now, if you're familiar with Dubai, the giant tourist city with the world's tallest building, this is not the same city. It's about a 2-hour drive from Dubai, and Abu Dhabi definitely has way more theme parks than Dubai does. Now, this resort will be located with all of other Miral's resorts on Yas Island, but because it's Disney, I'm assuming they're gonna have rules about sightlines and berms, and their park is going to have to feel very separate from all of the other theme parks. Would it be funny or horrifically tragic if Abu Dhabi Disneyland gets a Rivers of America and a Steamboat when Disney World is filling theirs in? Food for thought. Miral also operates Ferrari World, Water World, Warner Brothers World, SeaWorld, and Climb, which is an extreme sports venue, sort of like, indoor skydiving, that sort of thing, on Yas Island. So now we're adding a Disney park, a Disney resort to that list, and that's kind of big. And the park will be located on a waterfront, similar to Tokyo Disney Sea. So it'll be interesting to see how they incorporate the park into the scenery that it's around. And I'm assuming since Disney is partnering with Miral Group, they're not going to be footing the bill for this resort. So if you're worried about Disneyland Forward or potentially Villains Land or new Epcot, I should say new Epcot, at some time in the future being affected by the price of this new Disney resort, I wouldn't worry about that. Disney is not paying for this, which also probably confirms that we're going to get some insane attractions at Disneyland Abu Dhabi, some crazy high-tech stuff. Bob Iger said this new resort will be authentically Disney. And I don't know if that means anything. He does like to say authentically Disney all the time. So in my mind, Bob Iger saying authentically Disney means that the entire land will be intellectual properties, except for maybe one area. I don't even know if they'll do a Main Street USA. They'll probably do some sort of introduction area, some sort of Main Street style area. But for them to base it around the turn of the century small town America, it might not be what they're going with. I always could be wrong though. Now, remember how I said earlier that the concept art is very abstract and doesn't really give us anything to go off of because Disney probably doesn't even know what they want to build here right now? Let's take a closer look at it and see what they want to build here right now. Now, it's looking like, unlike all of the other Disneyland-style parks in the world, the icon for this new Abu Dhabi Disneyland might not be a castle, or at least not in the way we currently understand it. This structure right here backs right up to the waterfront, and while, yeah, it does sort of have the silhouette of a Cinderella castle or of a castle, it looks to be more of a futuristic take, a crystalline structure of a classic Disney theme park castle. And if this is what they want to move forward with for the design of the park, for their final design, this thing is going to look insane at night. Let me just say that. This thing is going to look absolutely wild at night when it lights up. And then you have to ask yourself the question, what's going to be inside the castle? Is it going to be a royal table situation where there's a restaurant inside, or maybe an entire attraction like Spaceship Earth? Maybe not Spaceship Earth inside this ride, but you know what I mean, an Omnimover style ride through the castle. Moving in over here, we can see what is definitely Tron, right? This is Tron Light Cycle Run. This looks like the upload conduit from Orlando and Shanghai. But again, zooming out, we can see that the whole park isn't really divided up into lands, at least not yet. It all looks very Tomorrowland-y, very Epcot-y. Although this silhouette here is bringing to mind Beast's Castle from the Shanghai Disney Beauty and the Beast attraction. That looks sort of similar, doesn't it? And then there's one other thing that I want to draw your eye to. Right here, where the hub would be for the other Disney parks, where the partner statue would be, you have what looks to be a monorail loop right through the middle of the park, very similar to Epcot's. Will we finally be seeing the construction of Disney's fourth-ish monorail system with the opening of Disneyland Abu Dhabi? I mean, it certainly looks like a monorail line to me. Or maybe, just maybe, it's a way to move people. If a Disney park in Abu Dhabi gets a people mover before Disneyland, I think I might actually do like a scream. I might scream. I don't think this is a Matterhorn right here, but it certainly does give Matterhorn style vibes. It looks like sort of the same silhouette of Disneyland's Matterhorn. And like I said, it might not be, but if Disney were to build a modern day Matterhorn bobsleds, what would that look like? Because the Matterhorn at Disneyland was built during a time of very low regulations. And while Abu Dhabi doesn't have the best regulations in the world for the people who are building these things, at least, and that's a whole other topic we should talk about, but for guests, it should be fine. I want to see how much bigger this would be than the Disneyland Matterhorn, because the Disneyland Matterhorn, if it were built today, would not look the way it looks. What can you say? The 50s, they were a different time. But that's really all I can get from this concept art. Not a whole lot to glean here. I wouldn't read too far into this, even though I just did. This is definitely just showing off something that they might do in the future. Disney isn't sure what they want to build yet. I thought for sure they would have put some sort of Space Mountain-like structure in this concept art, because that looks like a natural fit for this type of vibe, but I guess not. You know, Abu Dhabi Disneyland might not be getting a Space Mountain. Now, I do want to say that part of me is a little bit concerned about the attendance, the quality of this park, because if you look at Mural's other projects on Yas Island, they're not the best themed areas you've ever seen in your life. Warner Brothers World to me is kind of cheesy, so is the Ferrari theme park. Ferrari World especially doesn't look like anything fancy. I mean, look at the coaster. The coaster itself looks great, but look at it. But I am hoping that as part of this deal Disney made with Mural, that loaning some Imagineers over to help design this park will alleviate some of that cheapness that I feel when looking at the other resorts. I'm not saying they're bad, I'm just saying they don't look Disney tier. So maybe part of the deal was that they have to be built with no expense spared, and it has to match the quality of the other Disney resorts all over the world. If that is the case, then I could say I'm excited. Will I be visiting Disneyland Abu Dhabi? Not for the foreseeable future. I have all of the other overseas parks to visit. I gotta go to Disney Sea, I gotta go to Paris, I wanna go to Shanghai. Maybe someday I'll get around to Abu Dhabi. But, and who knows, this thing is going to take them a very long time to build. So maybe by the time it's done, if they have a people mover, you know, I could free up my schedule, I'll swing by. Josh D'Amaro has said, quote, "This groundbreaking resort destination represents a new frontier in theme park development. Our resort in Abu Dhabi will be the most advanced and interactive destination in our portfolio." So like I said, when this park opens, expect high tech. Since Disney's not footing the bill, they can have a little bit of fun when developing the attractions. They can be a little bit more experimental than they would be here in the States. And with the exclusivity clause that we have in place for places like Shanghai and Tokyo, who knows? Maybe in 10, 15 years, we'll see some attractions from Abu Dhabi Disneyland coming stateside to Orlando, or maybe even Anaheim with the whole Disneyland Forward project, allowing Disney to build out more space at Disneyland. And to round off the article, Disney confirmed that, quote, "Upon completion, the new theme park resort will offer signature Disney entertainment, themed accommodations, so resort hotel, unique dining and retail experiences, and storytelling in a way that celebrates both the heritage of Disney and the futuristic and cultural essence of Abu Dhabi." So part of me is hoping that this is a, you know, classic Disneyland style park that's extremely cutting edge and high tech, but another part of me thinks that this might be something completely unique, something different altogether, like Epcot or Disney Sea, something that we have never seen anywhere else in the world. And I think that might be the most effective way to get me to go to Abu Dhabi, is to build something completely new, because Tokyo Disney Sea is on the very, very top of my list right now, because that's something you can't get anywhere else in the world. Epcot is my favorite Disney park in Florida because you can't get it anywhere else in the world. So having a unique style park in Abu Dhabi, I think that might be far, far more interesting than a Disneyland style park. But I also would like a classic castle park. Just because that's what I know, that's what I'm comfortable with, that's what I like the most. Disneyland in Anaheim, you can't ever really beat that park. But what about you? What do you think of this new Disney resort opening in Abu Dhabi in probably 10, 15 years? Are you excited for it because Disney's not footing the bill with this one? Are you nervous for it because Disney's not footing the bill with this one? What do you think of the concept art piece that we've got? What do you think it's going to be? What are some attractions that you might be able to spot in the concept art that I might have missed in this video? Let me know down in the comments because this is a very big announcement, probably the biggest announcement we've gotten since Shanghai. And it might end up being very consequential to the future of the American Disney parks. What we might see pop up there might end up in the far future with a home at Disney's Hollywood Studios or at California Adventure. You never really know. I don't know. I'm excited to see the construction progression. I'm excited to see some videos from the park when it opens. It'll probably be a very, very long while before I can make it down there, but we're going to have a lot of new announcements coming out over the next few years over what to expect for this park, and I'll be there to talk about it. I'll be here to talk about it as long as they just don't do the announcements this early. Again, Disney, give me a second. Give me a second to wake up and then announce the brand new Disney resort, okay? Hey there everybody, hope you enjoyed watching this video about the newly announced Disney resort in Abu Dhabi. If you did enjoy it, please be sure to hit the like button, and if you're new around here and you want more Disney news videos like this, please be sure to hit the subscribe button. Very fun, interesting times from the Walt Disney Company right now. I don't know what to expect. I don't think anybody really knows what to expect. Maybe the Imagineers themselves were even blindsided by this announcement. I have no idea. This is all just a bunch of question marks for me right now. We know where it's going, and that's about it. A very special thank you to all of my supporters over at patreon.com/offhanddisney. They get early access to videos and exclusive access to other videos. If you want to join their ranks, maybe, you can use the link in the description down below, and even just $1 a month will get you access to all of the perks. However, if you'd rather follow me for free, you don't want to pay the dollar, that's totally fine, understandable, I get it. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Blue Sky. I am at Offhand Disney on all of those websites. Just makes it easier for you to find me. But my friends, I think that's the end of this video. I might have missed one or two things in the announcement. It was a lot of corpo talk, a lot of fluff speak about how this park is going to be super cool and super great. So I just sort of skipped over a lot of that, but maybe I did miss a few things. Let me know in the comments if I did. Everybody, thank you all so much for watching this video. I will see you probably later this week in the next video. Goodbye.